In an ideal world, you want all your blind people to arrive as early as possible into your campaign. We've just had 2 weeks in Magdalena, and a lot of blind people arrived on the very last day. We did 83 cataract operations on perception of light, hand movement, eyes, but it wasn't until the very last day that a lot of people arrived. And I want to talk about how to maybe make that better, how to get to those people earlier. Reaching the right patients is critically important. So today we're going to look at just 5 ideas that can help you to get to the blind people in your population so that they arrive to your clinics and your theatre at the right time. One of the ways that you can reach populations is by using local radio stations and local TV. There are often small television stations. They don't run all day, but they'll be on, say, from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock giving local notices. And you can easily get onto those stations. Everybody wants to give you an interview, and finding out who runs the local radio station, who runs the local TV station, and then going there and telling your population about your trip, what you're there to do, what type of surgery you can do, and asking people to come, and not only to come, but asking those people to go out and find people who they know, who they've heard about, maybe in a nearby town, or somebody who lives in an isolated family or on a farm nearby, but try and get those people to come. So use your TV and use your radio stations where they are, and you'd be surprised, even in the most remote of areas there are TV stations and radio stations available. Secondly, use signage. Put signs up outside of the hospital, in the plaza, wherever you can. Put some signs out, again explaining the dates that you're going to be there and explaining what it is that you're looking for, and be clear about that, because you don't want to fill up, if you're not doing glasses for example, you don't want to fill up with everybody who just wants glasses. But equally, you want, some people will come to you looking for glasses who have something that is pathology that can be fixed with either medically or with surgery. So you don't want to limit patients, but you want to find the right patients. And signage works really well because you can be clear about what it is that you're looking for and the dates that you're actually going to be there. Another method is to go house to house, and in this trip in Magdalena we had great success with the local university going out. They sent 84 trainee nurses house to house around Magdalena looking for patients, and that was great. They had a little form that they wanted to complete. We did an hour's training with them on what a cataract might look like, how to find one using just a torch, and then we showed them what skin cancers look like and the size of pterygium that we were prepared to operate on. We don't want to have every single pterygium turning up to clinic because many of them are not blinding, but the big ones are, and so getting them to do the actual measurement of the size of the pterygium, showing them what to look for, and was really useful in finding patients for us, but also finding the right patients. As well as using the nurses from the local university, we've also had success in previous years in using Bolivia's army and using the Navy. And often you'll have 100 to 200 soldiers in an area without an awful lot to do, but who know the territory incredibly well, and getting their assistance and their help on board can often help you to find people who live very isolated lives, who don't have radios, who don't have TV, and who haven't seen your signage or heard about your trip. So getting them out and looking for people can be really successful. And one year in San Ramon, we had lorry after lorry of soldiers turning up with patients that were blind from miles away, who were living in the Bolivian jungle, in the Amazon, and who needed our help, and that can be incredibly useful as well. You will, regardless of how you advertise your trip, you will inevitably fill up with patients who live near to where you're going to operate first. That makes sense, doesn't it? People from the town who have got radios, who've got TV, who've seen your signs, they will want to get in early. And it's very easy to fill up all of your operating spaces with those patients, but you need to leave space. In our experience, day 3, day 4, you start to get people from the isolated villages. Sometimes those people will just wait to definitely confirm that you have arrived before they actually make the trip. And some of those people might have a day or even 2 days to try and get to you, walking or arranging lifts. So often it's day 3 or day 4 when your really blind people turn up. So you need to leave spaces for them. You need to have days where you say, we're just taking people from this isolated community, or we're just having people from here. Otherwise they will get there and they will, often your blind people will sit quietly at the back and they will just be overtaken all the time by the people that are not really blind, who are very keen to get glasses or very keen to have an assessment. And you will miss people unless you allow spaces and you save spaces for them. They will arrive, but they will arrive after the people who are living locally to where the actual trip is taking place. And on this trip, we, as I said earlier, we had people arriving who were bilaterally blind, perception of light in one eye, maybe hand movements in the other, and they were arriving on the very last day of the trip. And it was a shame. We managed to operate on most of them, but I'm sure that in the next week or so there will be people who will turn up as well. And of course our team have now left, and I'm here for a few days, but we're no longer operating. So I encourage you to try and reach the people who have the worst pathology as early as you can. Make sure you have a strategy that includes them, and make sure that you have space for them when they do arrive. That's it for now. Look forward to seeing you on the